Hello and welcome to this lesson on submitting applications to Google Play Store. In this lesson, we'll cover some of the steps and checklists for submitting an application to Google Play. Before you publish your apps on Google Play and distribute them to users, you need to get the apps ready, test them, and prepare your promotional materials. Before beginning the process of publishing an application to Google Play, you should carefully review the publishing process and ensure that all the steps are clear and covered by the plan for publishing. Make sure that you understand and follow the Google Play program policies that you accept when registering. Google Play actively enforces the policies, and any violations can lead to suspension of your applications or, for repeated violations, termination of your developer account. Before you publish apps on Google Play, it is important to make sure that they meet the basic quality expectations for all Android applications on all the devices that you are targeting. Ensure that the content rating for your application is appropriate for the content provided in your application. We'll cover this topic more in depth shortly. The Google Play Publisher Console allows for declaring specific countries for distributing your application. Before publishing, it is important to make sure that your applications are designed to run properly on the Android platform versions and device screen sizes that you have targeted. The overall size of your application can affect its design and how you publish it on Google Play. Currently, the maximum size for an APK published on Google Play is 50 megabytes. If your app exceeds this size, or if you want to offer a secondary download, you can use an APK expansion file, which Google Play will host for free on its server infrastructure and automatically handle the download to devices. Before publishing your application, you will also need to determine the pricing for your application, whether it be available for a fee or freely installable. Once you publish an app as a free application, you cannot change it to being a priced application. However, you can still sell in-app products and subscriptions through Google Play's in-app billing service. Once you have finished developing and determining your localization options for your application, make sure to verify the validity of these resources by testing with the different locale options available for your application. When you publish to Google Play, you can supply a variety of high-quality graphical assets to showcase your application or brand. We will cover them more in depth later on in this lesson. Now, once you have confirmed and verified the previous steps in this checklist, you will need to build, sign, and upload a release-ready version of your application packaged as an APK. Before a full official release of your application, Google Play can help you set up a beta program for your application. After you sign into your developer console and have uploaded your APKs, you can set up groups of users for alpha and beta testing of your application. On Google Play, your application's product information is shown to users on their store listing pages. The pages that users visit to learn more about your applications, and the pages from which they will decide to purchase or download your applications on their Android devices or on the web. To help your applications get traction after launch, it is strongly recommended that you support your launch with a promotional campaign that announces your application through as many channels as possible in as many countries as possible. For example, you can promote a launch using ad placement, social network or blog posts, video or other media, interviews and reviews, or any other channels available to you for promotion. Google Play requires that you set a content rating for your application, which informs Google Play users of its maturity level. Before you publish, you should confirm what rating level you want to use. The available content rating levels are Everyone, Low Maturity, Medium Maturity, and High Maturity. On their Android devices, Android users can set the desired maturity level for browsing. Google Play then filters applications based on the setting, so the content rating you select can affect the application's distribution to users. Google Play also lets you control what countries and territories your applications are distributed to. For the widest reach and largest potential customer base, you normally want to distribute to all available countries and territories. However, because of business needs, app requirements, or launch dependencies, you might want to exclude one or more countries from your distribution. It's important to determine the exact country distribution early on, because it can affect the need for localized resources in your application, the need for a localized app description in the developer console, legal requirements for the app that may be specific to certain countries, time zone support, local pricing, and so on. Before publishing, it is important to make sure that your application runs as desired on the proper Android platform versions and device screen sizes that you want to target. From an app compatibility perspective, Android platform versions are defined by API level. you should confirm the minimum version that your app is compatible with is equal to the min SDK version, the maximum version is equal to the max SDK version, and the target version with the target SDK version in your Android manifest, if defined. The target API version should denote the version this application has been tested against. In the Android manifest, you can also declare which screen sizes your application supports by declaring the Supports Screens property. This can include options like if the application supports small screens, normal screens, large screens, and/or extra large screens. When you are satisfied that your app meets your UI, compatibility, and quality requirements, you can build the release-ready version of your application. You upload the release-ready APKs to your developer console and distribute it to users. Before this is done, make sure to clean up your project and that it conforms to the directory structure described in the Android projects resources on the Android developer site. Leaving stray or orphan files in your project can prevent your application from compiling and cause your application to behave unpredictably. Also make sure you deactivate logging and disable the debugging options before you build your application for release. You can deactivate logging by removing calls to the log methods in your source files. The release build process assumes that you have a certificate and a private key suitable for signing your application. If you do not have a suitable certificate and private key, Android Studio can help you generate one. If your application relies on a remote server, make sure that the server is secure and that it is configured for production use. This is particularly important if you are implementing in-app billing in your application and you're performing the signature verification step on a remote server. Testing the release version of your application helps ensure that your application runs properly under realistic device and network conditions before you upload the release-ready APK. Finally, once you have completed verifying and building the release-ready APK, you can upload it and submit it to the Google Play portal for distribution. By adding screenshots and video that showcase your application's features and functionality to your application store listing page, you can help your application attract new users on Google Play. Some of the following promotional graphics are required, while others are highly recommended. Some of the required components for the promotional graphics are screenshots and a high-res icon. Although a feature graphic is not strictly required, it is highly recommended, as well as a promotional video. The promo graphic is used for promotions on older versions of the Android OS, running on Android earlier than 4.0. You can upload up to 8 screenshots for each supported device type: phone, 7-inch tablet, 10-inch tablet, and Android TV. To publish your store listing, you must provide a minimum of 2 screenshots. The requirements for the screenshots graphical assets are that they be a JPEG or 24-bit PNG with no alpha, minimum dimensions of 320 pixels with maximum dimensions of 3,840 pixels, and the maximum dimensions of your screenshot cannot be more than twice as long as the minimum dimensions. Your uploaded screenshots will be displayed on your application's details page on the Google Play website and the Android app as seen here. To publish your application with a store listing, a high-res icon is required. The high-res icon does not replace your app's launcher icon, but should be a higher fidelity, higher resolution version that follows the same design guidelines. The requirements for the high-res icon are that it should be a 32-bit PNG with alpha, dimensions 512 pixels by 512 pixels, and maximum file size of 1024 kilobytes. Although the feature graphic is not required to submit an application to the Play Store, it is required in order to be featured anywhere within Google Play. If you added a promo video, a play button will overlay your feature graphic so users can play your promo video. The requirements for the feature graphic is that it must be a JPEG or 24-bit PNG with no alpha, with dimensions 1024 pixels by 500 pixels. You can add a promotional YouTube video to your store listing by entering a URL in the promo video field. While a promo video is not required, it's highly recommended as a fun, engaging way to show your potential users the features of your application. Make sure to enter an individual video's YouTube URL, not a YouTube playlist or channel URL. Some tips for your promotional video are to keep your videos short, 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and focus on the most compelling features first. And if you have a device running Android 4.4 KitKat or above, you can use the ADB shell command screen record to capture video directly from your device. Thank you for joining us in this lesson on submitting applications to the Google Play Store. Join us in our next lesson where we'll take a look at integrating advertising in your Android applications.